Thank you. I appreciate
That's good,
that.
and I like that. All right.
Send tweet. Okay. But tell me about it a little bit. The Mars pick. This is something that you've loved for this XXS here guy in particular.
Yeah, he's been amazing on it. At TI, he was spectacular. He's seen it already here. You know, he's always where he needs to be. He always seems to catch the right targets, and he tends to do the same itemization that we've seen so much. You know, that blink BKB hex, which you'll probably see coming out again. I mean, Aster's draft just hits everything, right? It's got push, it's got team fight, it's got everybody with the stun/disable and catch. It's a beautiful draft. Looking at Aster.Aries, it's got a lot of that too. It's got a good amount of all that, like catch, disable, etc. team fight, but does feel like it is a bit on that back foot with this troll pick. Also, it's this triple melee cores into this Lina, into this Mars. Feels like it could just set up for disaster at some situations if they don't get on top of this. As
Speaking
Aster,
of disaster,
whoop,
Baboka.
whoop. He's hunting. Who's he gonna grab?
Get in range.
That-
Get over here. That's a pretty good one to get. Ulo in trouble. Oh, the snowball.
Okay.
Still a dangerous space to be,
Not
but
dead.
it looks like the troll's going to get out.
Okay.
Well done, well done.
Nice little save there. Now, Tree, Panda. We'll be all right. Looks like it'll be a 3 rune there for Aster and 1 for Aries.
Yeah. And bounty runes. Yeah, like you said, 3 away. So mid lane matchup, there's a lot of talk about Tusk facing off against Void Spirit here in this one. Of course, the big thing that always stands out to both of these heroes is going to be that level 6 timing and where they decide to go.
Yeah.
Despite all the rest of it, are there any lanes where there is some like serious potential danger for like ganks earlier than that or rotations?
Well, right now we're seeing a bit of different lanes coming out right now, right? Aster's actually switched it up so they don't have the double melee that Panda was talking about it. They actually have Lina, Marcy bottom in a very, usually they're going to be that safe lane, and they're actually sending that Mars top. So they're forcing reaction already from Aries, which is definitely going to start them out weak. Ulu already had to walk to base on the troll, which means he's going to get top a bit late. He's going to be almost a full level disadvantage. So I think for Aries already, all those lanes look kind of problematic. I think all 3 of Aster's lanes are winning lanes.
Yeah, this looks really nice for them. TK trading hits there with Pichu. But it looks like this is going to be an interesting one to watch as White Album creeps underneath his tower, still 5-3 versus 4-2. Nothing really to write home about, nothing looking too terrible yet, but you can play around a little bit. The stuns, both from the Snowball as well as the pull-in from the Void Spirit.
Yeah. This matchup, we're seeing it, like the panel was saying, we're seeing it more and more. I actually think Void Spirit, this might be the one of these like melee matchups that Void Spirit actually might beat the Tusk, it feels like. Tusk is always going to do fine, but you have a slight base damage advantage, and you always have this resonant pulse that's hitting so many targets that you actually you can trade with Tusk easy as bottom.
Red Panda.
He's already 2, so
dude, in any lane with Lina is just terrible to be in, particularly when you're double melee.
Oh, yeah. And they have multiple ways to distance the Lina also, right? Like, you've got Marcy. Even if there's a Primal Beast, he charges in. They can just throw him away. They can speed up the Lina and try to reset stuff. So, yeah, we'll see how he's able to do down here.
Well, and whenever Monet wants to get that point in LSA, you have that paired together with Bobica. It's going to be some kills there. I mean, they're tanky heroes at least. Both the Tree and the Primal Beast as...
He's going to go down.
Yeah, that's the second time they've done this. They didn't connect on the first arrow. TK chased through the trees. Does have God's Rebuke, though, and that's enough of a slow. And then move in for a right-click. XXS drawing first blood. You guys might see some crazy stuff from him this game. His last Mars game was one of the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I feel like I say that from every time he plays Mars. I'm like, that was one of the best Mars performance ever. He's spectacular really on this hero, and they're giving him the safe lane farm. Well, and not as a carry, of course, but they're giving him safe lane, so he's going to have even more farm than usual. Yeah, I think this setup for Aster, it's going to really break Aries quickly, as this troll 7 and 2 last hits already going to start falling quickly far behind.
LSA connects there.
They just get double. I mean, it's double melee. Like, they just have to watch Monet be like, okay, free farm.
Dude, it's so annoying. Yeah, and Red Panda, I mean, can throw out that healing just by virtue of the Leech Seed, but I mean, it's hard to even stay onto one target. And yeah, the body blocks paired together with the extra damage and one more hit, Bobica gets the kill. Things are already looking scary.
Yeah, this lane is ridiculous. The fact that it also cuts the poor trees, right? Even Tree just can't hide anywhere is also primal. Okay, he'll be all right. They're thinking about diving forward, but Boca's thinking about it, gets the grab. That's just sheer right clicks.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to be that much more than that. And as soon as he comes back into lane, is already taking a beating.
I mean, this is such a gross lane, really. Sidekick plus Lina is just an absurd amount of damage early on. Even as the game progresses, gonna just see how strong Monet's able to be with Baboka at the backup.
When you had talked about Void Spirit maybe having an advantage, I didn't think it was going to be this type of advantage over the Tusk.
Yeah, he's doing phenomenal. I mean, White Album's been really good in a lot of these matchups, but yeah, this is looking great. No leap. We'll get a kill.
Well played there. Much needed. And now Aries trying to get aggro onto Monet, but the turn... Oh, that one hurts.
Can't get the rebound target. Rebound level 1 is so pathetic, so can't actually catch it there. Baboka wants to, but...
I mean, so you were talking right before this how you weren't liking as much the Marcy being played out of the support role, particularly for a lot of these other teams. Do you think that Aster found a good way to fit it into their draft here, though?
I think when you have these, these super range carries, your Linas, your snipers, your Drow, and everything like that, Marcy support I think can still look pretty good. I have the preference of the role just being as core. You work so much better with sidekick and with levels. But that being said, also it's Baboka, so. Probably going to transition to a core pretty quickly because he's a super farmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I like it with range cores. And he has multiple... I think when you have multiple heroes that you can sidekick, multiple cores, it's also amazing. His bottom, again, is constantly looking to make these moves.
Doesn't connect with the LSA. But I always get a little bit surprised when that Dispose comes out on a Primal Beast just because the range looks insane since his body's so big.
It also just so funny. It's just like, damn, Marcy is really jacked. You know, that lifting Primal Beast.
We should allow her to use Dispose on Roche just for the memes.
Yeah, it would be good, actually. However, there would probably be something that they'd have to patch at some point. Somebody would find something dumb. And you can throw the Roche out of the pit. And yeah, you got to always watch out for those.
That's true.
All right, let's see. 20 seconds for Power Rune. I feel like they have to help out White Album here. XWY is going to hit 6 pretty soon. And yeah, that is a pretty crazy disparity. 32-12 to 22-5.
Yeah, White Album is going to need the help, absolutely.
He glyphs the wave, so stalling out that level 6 just a little bit longer.
It's really good for him. And the rune is going to spawn. He manages to get the regen down bottom there.
He's going to go right away. Arrow. At least it's a catapult.
Taunt. Just gets some damage on his way out. Starting to burn through those charges and then pops the regen right away.
Yeah, looks to bully. All 3 lanes looking phenomenal. Troll doing pretty decent though. We do see Ulu is able to get a decent amount of farm after that late start that he got up top. Early ring of health. Rotations.
Yeah, indeed. LSA connects onto one. Monet trying to back out of there. TK moving into range. But now XSS shows up. The bigger rotation coming from the core. Taking down one already. And Red Panda also going to drop there.
Yep. Always in the right place at the right time. And the moment he hits 6, he sees the opportunity. Rubik leaves, he comes down.
It's like he was in their head.
Yeah. Perfect rotation. And now he gives the Mirana up top. He wasn't pressuring the Troll too much anyway, so this is an easy, ideal rotation.
Yeah, it feels like this was always part of the plan here, as Monet heads off into the jungle to try and farm up this area.
He's going to have sidekick too, so should be able to heal up almost to full.
God, he is going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's like such a nice little steroid of like damage and farming ability for him to have that.
Yeah, now they can probably look to switch the lanes up, right? Because sometimes, even though it's a Lina, maybe you do feel a little fragile being down in the bottom lane. Now they can just send Monet to jungle, send him top, and just leave XXS as that traditional kind of off-laner, even though they switched up the start of it.
And in the meantime, Pichu can keep farming on the top lane, too. He's left completely alone up here, and Mirana's fine.
And Mirana's actually one of the better ones at this, too, because it already happened, but whenever there's a siege, you just arrow it. So there's actually no pressure that you can put versus Mirana's unless you dive and kill her.
Well, we'll see how Aries try and shake things up. They're doing some stacks in the jungle, trying to play a little bit more of that economy game. Doesn't get that one, unfortunately.
Up top.
But also making a rotation, bringing in the Rubik, have the tree in the area. XWY will get hit by a Fade Bolt, but doesn't really translate into any type of a gank here.
Tough kill. That's why they went for this, not only just for the lane, but overall for the game. They have to commit a lot of their disables to pierce through this Void Spirit. And liking the item start here for XWY. It's a traditional one now, the Witchblade, but has the early chainmail, so even more so, White Album can't actually commit to go for any kill on this Void Spirit. He'll just live through the punch.
Well, after rotating back home, Monet decides to come back bottom, farm out the jungle, and maybe get set up for a tower siege here. And likewise, you can see Aries making a similar move up top, mainly with their supports right now.
They've got to dive this Mirana.
Yeah, this is a pretty big move here.
There's TP available for XXS also, so that's always going to be a big scare. If they dive here, he's just going to control the area.
She doesn't want to show himself, obviously.
Bottom.
Yeah,
Spear.
Speaking of diving, gonna make this move now. Laguna Blade out and gonna get that kill. Red Panda rotates.
Oh, he might actually just die for that.
Yeah, that one hurts. The TP was completed for the tree and won't be able to keep this tower alive.
Ooh, this early game is rough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And they also can't really kick out the Mirana either.
Nope, Pichu's chilling.
Well, Aster, there's a reason this is one of the teams to beat in this region. They're looking incredibly solid. Know what the plans are, know what the plays are, and they're beating out their other team.
Yeah, it's a clean draft, clean play so far. Pretty flawless first 10 minutes, and a kind of clever one, too, with the way that they set up their lanes. I think that was actually really smart. I think we're seeing more teams still setting up their lanes, like in tri-lanes and stuff like that, but this one feels like it's just done so much damage.
XWY lays down the remnant. It's going to be bottom. It's an invis.
He's having some bad luck. I mean, he's getting the runes at the end of the day, but he's never on top of him.
No.
Only the first few.
And it's also, you know, has to be frustrating, I would imagine, for White Album as the Tusk.
What is White? What? Maboka's got a point booster queued up. Does he want some like Wraith Pact or something like that? Interesting.
He just likes it.
For the Marcia, yeah.
It's a pretty color.
Neat. Top tower will fall. They will finally push this pesky Mirana out of there. But bottom, Red Panda shows his face, Monet.
Ah! Get out of there, tree. Nah, there's no way. He's just going to get pummeled. Monet moves in. Almost has Maelstrom completed now. 10 minutes in and 4,000 gold lead. And Aster not wasting any time. They're going to just park this Void Spirit here for a moment with the catapult going to work. It's going to be some pretty decent damage onto that mid tower.
Oh, he's setting up for top two. Still has the invis. Mirana is scouted, walking through this ward, but Ulu, he might think he's safe. He might be. Oh, it's just a Mirana. I might be okay. They're actually going to throw the scan just in case. So I guess they did have tabs of that invis rune getting picked up.
Yeah. Heads up play, playing it safe. And after that Witchblade, XWY eyeing up the Aghanim Scepter. No defensive item, which is maybe something that we could watch for later on if they can punish that on the side of Aries. But so far, feels as if they're playing pretty conservatively and not outside their bounds yet.
Witchblade gives them a little bit of both, right? Like it's an like the 6 armor is very relevant versus something like Tusk and Troll. So I like this Ags build. I think it's perfect when you're playing versus Troll and versus Tusk. I mean, it's the usual build anyway on Void Spirit, but the silence is going to come into play.
And so with this lead just continuing to expand right now, Aster, they're going to smoke up a couple of heroes, and looks like they want to make that rotation around to possibly set up for a mid kill, or if they can, I mean, this would be a great one.
Yeah, they really want Ulu. They have this ward still here too. Pushing out the wave. Did they get the catch?
Looks for him. Jump in. Nope, not going to do it.
They see the TPs coming in. They immediately back away.
Okay. Only the Rubik that made that move. And he immediately gets a D-ward too.
Yeah. He's like, they backed out way too quick on my TP. But it's yet to see a move for Aries. Let's see. Bottom, looking for XXS. Quickly speared away.
Won't be able to get him. What's the troll build here? Is he going? He's going Battle Fury.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel like he has to. Otherwise, I mean, either way, he's going to get outpaced by the leanest farm, but feels like he just has to go this build. As bottom again.
Both jumps used, taunted, and speared. So they back away for a moment, wait
Arrow?
for the gank to fall apart, and then go in for another kill. And I don't know if they're going to waste their time trying to go for Red Panda on this tree. Looks like they're just going to leave him alone now.
Back to farming.
Another kill for Aster.
8-1, putting all the pressure on and just letting Monet free farm. It's problematic for Aries. Like, how are they? They're at some point they have to try to hunt, but they're never given the opportunity because Aster's the first one making the move every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, but Boca does buy that full point booster, so he's got 2 options, right? It's either the Ags or he's just gonna go Wraith Pact. Please go Ags. That would be hype. I've literally never seen it in a pro game or a pub game. But he queues up the Wraith back, sadly. It's the more understandable one versus all this physical damage. It's literally Troll Tusk, right? So he's going to fully prevent any of their damage in those fights once he gets it, and he gives the benefit to his cores.
I mean, I was hoping for Octarine, but
no way.
As we get the catch here again. And Shang-Zi chasing down Pichu, but gets out of there.
6-1. Arcane Rune bottom. Snagged away.
Yeah, and nothing really gained there at all. So you can see these numbers just continue to spiral upwards. It's going to start to look a little bit better for Ulu as he has this Battle Fury completed. But already being this far behind the Lina, it's just going to sort of continue to snowball for her. And will probably consistently remain above that troll unless something changes and they can connect on a few of these ganks.
Yeah, just not the easiest for them to get onto this Lina. Even though they have Tusk, even though they have Primal, and in theory, you know, on paper, perhaps you could look to... She's going to have BKB by the time they even make their first move. Like, Monet is 700 or 800 gold away from having it done.
Heading in this direction, and it's only the Marcy on this side of the map. With 4 heroes back here, maybe hoping to catch somebody who wants to clean up this wave.
I mean, Baboka knows this is happening, it looks like. Yeah, he's peeping forward, boom.
Dude.
Breaks it. Even takes the bounty.
God. Dude, that's like how little fear you have. You know what I mean?
They're getting like literally everything out of the map. They get this D ward bottom, they're pressuring towers, like everything is just going Aster favor.
I mean, just psychologically, that does something to a person.
Yeah, this is and this is painful.
Well, 8-1. And Aries needing to, of course, wait for those items that they need to get online to make the fights happen, and it feels like it's gonna maybe need to be that Tusk Blink Dagger now.
But even
I mean,
he's gonna be blinking into double BKB. This is looking rough.
Game's rough. Game is hard.
Game is super hard. Let's see if they can get any more kills on the map at all. Let's see if they can kill any more cores this game at all. I feel like they might actually never kill a core.
I think that part of the reason it's so rough too is what the panel was talking about and what everybody there was sort of mentioning, that at the end of the day, none of them liked the matchup of Lina versus Troll.
No. And I'm learning more and more about that, you know, the Void Spirit versus Tusk. I mean, this one, it was maybe a bit too one-sided, but it looks like an excellent kind of counterpick matchup for mid.
Yeah.
And yeah, on to start pressuring even more. They've got the BKBs done. Lina's is coming, Mars is done. And now, what do? Aries, they haven't even gotten a chance to use any, they haven't gotten a chance to do anything. Like, the tree ult is online. They've got their blink now on Tusk, but it's into this commanding lead of Aster. Where do you go from here?
I think that they need to do something, as you're talking about, and they do have that blink done. They've still a little ways away from the BKB on Primal Beast, but it almost feels like you... I mean, that's always the trap, right? You feel like, oh, well, I'm almost got this, and then I've almost got that, because as soon as Primal Beast almost has BKB, then Troll almost has BKB, and maybe we can wait for it, but at that point, they're going to be a whole nother item ahead of them.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just falling further and further behind. Now there's even a mech, so, you know, even if, let's say, they connect with their abilities, they just probably don't even have the damage to pierce through this healing. And those BKBs, of course.
Maybe they can catch somebody out of position here. Pickoffs can sometimes be a saving grace in that regard.
Yep, Pichu.
And gets the jump out, trying to escape, catches the mid-leap. Well played, and a kill. So they need more of these on Aster.Aries.
Yep. They get support kills. Can they transition into a core kill? Looking unlikely.
It's Monet queuing up those boots of travel so he can be anywhere on the map. And in fact, walks through a ward.
This could maybe be the catch. They need to get the good chain stun so he doesn't get the BKB off.
Yeah, they have to bait this out. But Monet, yeah, maybe recognizing the danger here.
Yeah, he's like, I have no buddies with me.
They also have a ward over here in the jungle, which scouted that out. So that might have caught the rotation down. Heads up play.
Clean game. 8-2, 8K lead. Arcane Rune bottom, XWY, halfway to Aghanims.
But you know what they do both have? Philly Stomp.
They do. Ooh, arrow. Connects.
That's going to be their save very surely.
Yeah, a little bit extra money. That'd be nice. They need it.
Yeah.
This game is accelerating quickly. Roche on the menu, but Boca's about to have Wraith Pact done after this too, and how do they fight here? They don't, they can't. There's no BKB troll, so free Roche for Aster.
Yeah, this is nice to see from Aster. Everybody hitting their timings very well. Still, but what, 1,800 gold away from Aghanim's being completed on XWY, but farming very well around the map. And now with BKB completed on Primal Beast, it feels like it's going to be more time needing to wait, just farming and trying to catch back up a little bit here.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be the name of the game for Aries always after those lanes. Yeah. Aster have a huge window now to kind of hunt wherever they want, take whatever fight. Don't really, I mean, having the Ags, of course, on the Void Spirit would be lovely for easier catch, but it doesn't feel like they need it by any means right now.
So bullying across the map, pressuring in the bottom side of it. Aster hoping to find somebody here, but won't be gifted any free kills. Although White Album finds Monet and realizes he cannot do anything to that Lina.
Yeah, he's like, no, 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 just kidding. It was a prank.
Just a prank. How much does that Lina have now? Going in for the Gleipnir next.
Yep, our standard build that we're seeing.
I have seen some change-ups in terms of like the order that people go sometimes, which is always interesting to watch, whether it's like Shadowblade or something earlier.
Yeah, this one he's just so free. He can kind of do whatever he wants on this Lina. Yep, there's the Wraith Pact, so even when Troll Tusk show up, they have to deal with this pesky Wraith Pact that's going to be reducing 30% of their damage too. Physical, of course.
So, tier 2 tower down bottom gets one volley of tree armor, and then it's going to fall.
They just have to watch. They actually just have to watch and be like, we cannot take any fight versus Aster.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember like the Star Wars movie, the first one, when the walls are closing in the trash pit?
Yep.
That's kind of what it feels like for Aries right now.
Yeah, it's been I mean, those walls may have been closed already. It does feel like a few minutes ago, because I'm just not seeing, even with these items being picked up, I just don't know how they're that far behind. It's a full item on each hero.
Oh God, Han Solo putting up the tin pipe, trying to stop it from closing in around him. XXS is there. And they're actually able to get a little bit of a disengage. This is BKBs being used just to escape.
That's both of them, right? Yeah, both BKBs just to run. He realized he's hitting XXS, and XXS is like, okay, I'll just turn my face toward you. I got my bulwark on.
Dude, they even keep this catapult alive right here. They're going to be forced to use the glyph. Oh, with another creep wave coming in a second, they're still going to be able to take this tier 2 tower.
Gem being picked up. Looks like Aster's going for those closing items.
Dude, did they just go high ground here?
Constrict the map. Might try to poke it a little bit, but they can look to just take top probably and just play more farmy route, play the safer one. Let's see.
Looks like they will. I was just wondering, because they don't have a glyph again now.
It's true.
Arrow connects. But looks like indeed they're just going to sort of play a little bit more of this side of the map. White Album.
White Album. Now the Aghanims is also done for XWY, so if they don't use their BKBs defensively, they're just dead, and they might just get chain stun combo before they can get them off. This is super clean by Aster. Little to no mistakes whatsoever, and Aries haven't even gotten to do much of anything this game because of just how massacred they were in the laning phase.
Right. Striving for that perfect fight for them, and because of how rough it was early, we're never really even given that option. But you can see now.
Uh-oh. They're
Aster
getting pincered.
wanting to chase this one down here. And Monet, he's pushing in the wave. They're finding TK. Oh my God, they run right into him. Find this poor Rubik. He did get Astral Step, but ends up dying. And the LSA, barely off the mark there. Almost able to catch one of those Aries players trying to run away. Ulu.
Almost has Blink. Same thing, though. It just doesn't feel like these items, they're coming out quick enough. The ping's actually coming out. Aster, they have a read. They know this troll's in the area. He is going to see it coming, though.
He's really close. Doesn't want to have to use BKB right now.
Uh-oh.
And
sees the arrow.
dude, he gets the courier. Wait, he's
gonna get it.
Oh my God. That's a crazy play to make.
I mean, he saw the arrow used, right?
It's
so
true.
He felt confident to be able to TP as long as one of those other +1s doesn't come, but whew. Jeez. I mean, he has to take these risky plays at this point. If he doesn't,
true.
they're just losing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, a bunch of heroes TP to that side of the map. The small wins.
Yep.
Gotta take them where you can.
Primal Beast is upset. He's stomping in the base.
Well, you can
everyone
see
was out of sight.
Lina ready to push out the top side now. And Aster will likely group back together around that Lina again to... Well, actually, I guess they can't really do anything because Roche is going to need to be another 3 minutes so it's capable of respawning.
Get Pichu.
Dude, he doesn't care.
He's like, they're here. And Aries, yeah, reluctant to even go in versus 2. They don't know where the rest of them are, so could just get met with that destructive force.
And shoutouts there. Primal Beast not popping the BKB at that first sight of a Mirana. Could definitely imagine another world where that would happen, given the state of things at the moment.
Aster, though, looking to sweep again and clicking on XXS. As we mentioned, you know, this is the build he intends to do almost every game on his Mars. He's almost got his Hex. So even more forms of catch, limiting those BKBs from doing much of anything. As Aries, this could be the big fight.
Oh, my goodness.
Radiant are scanning.
Into a
Dude,
14k deficit, though.
He was thinking about it there on XXS.
Whoop.
Oh,
White
White
Album.
Album. He went in pretty far.
Oh my god, so risky.
Dude, they're just waiting.
Monet's on the prowl, too, with
All
the
right.
brown... Oh, okay.
So a little off the mark there. And stolen. Oh, it's Rebuke, though. Oh, my God. Yeah, Monet found White Album. Hastes away. Second salvo now. Connects onto the Primal Beast, bringing him down to half HP. Silence onto Ulu. And with BKB already used,
They gotta
they're,
run.
I mean, they're back and forth and indecisive about when they want to go. The spear catches them to the tree, and Troll didn't get to do a thing in that fight.
This is... I mean, they're not going to call it just yet, but this game is very done and dusted. You can just see there's nothing. The PKBs are popped, and they're like, I can't... Even if you battle trances, he's dead. He's just going to get kited, controlled. Aster, a masterclass this game. Looks perfect.
Somehow he did 300 damage in that fight on the Troll. I don't know how. This must have been axes, but
Must have been something.
that was a rough one, man.
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, and it's very indicative, like you say, of what's sort of been the issue this entire game. Aster started out with a lead and never let their foot off the gas, and Aries were never even really able to, you know, try and interrupt that.
Yeah, I think that the lane setup was honestly quite genius. It's just like small little things like that, but it put them at this level where the game just has... It's just never been there for Aries. 10-2. It's quiet, but it's
Right.
It's brutal.
Absolutely. And, well, BKB completed for Tusk now. They have that Blink Dagger. Again, it feels like they kind of have to get a perfect fight with Overgrowths after BKB is already used on these heroes. Something like that.
They might have one last hurrah. They have to get something because they have no damage and they're just getting further and further outscaled. Let's see if they catch something. Will they catch a core?
Balbaka. He is going to die. But that is all they're going to get for it. Didn't have to use much, which is one thing to consider.
XXS is hunting, though. He's got the Hex.
Ooh, and a quick Roche respawn. Now, if they could win this fight and get an Aegis, that is maybe some chance for hope. They drop a ward up on high ground. Spot one. Arrow there.
Hex.
Immediately Hex to interrupt the ulti. Gonna get controlled. Snowball, though.
Got Monet.
Okay, and now on to Monet. That's
Got
the
him.
blow-up they needed. Dead for 60 seconds. Everybody else from Aster has to run away as Aries somehow managed to win a fight.
And a gem picked up also.
Dude,
Perfect
and
positioning.
this is Roche. None of them have buyback.
Do they know it's up, though?
Oh, they have to go check. Surely they have to go check.
It's being scouted from Pichu. Yeah, I think they're going to be able to check it and get it in time.
I mean, that is huge. You could not be gifted a better situation than that for Aries.
Yeah, they got right on Monet, and the snowball save, right, from White Album ends up getting it off perfectly to save the Primal and get that reset onto Monet. Monet, he finds himself in a bit of a weird position. He's right in the middle of it, quite about everything.
Yeah.
All right, Aries, after a very slow game, they finally found some window.
I always said it needed to be the perfect fight, and I don't think I can think of a better fight than that.
No, definitely not.
All of XXS's values immediately negated. and they're on top of Monet somehow.
And Baboka gets picked up before the fight too, right? So
Yeah.
number advantage and the perfect jump. Or the perfect
Oh, we got
save
the favorite
jump.
one here, the rock throw. I was calling it Hurl Boulder in the green room there for a bit because I was thinking of the big old boulder from the golems.
No, it's an even better name. Rock throw.
Rock throw.
Can he, yeah, with Soul Ring, he can afford everything. This hero's int gain is just so pathetic when you look at it. His starting int and int gain, 495. I mean, it's him and Troll Warlord, the lowest int hero. Lowest int.
I want a cosmetic of it where he's just like throwing out Onyx or something. I feel like that might be a little tough to get copyright on.
Yeah,
actually, now that I'm
probably.
thinking about it.
But all right. Yep. Have found themselves at least some type of footing in the game. Still quite far behind.
Yeah, this is, I mean, again, not to overstate the situation, a huge win for Aries, but it could go bad in a second, or it could go even better for them.
The arrow.
Again, they connect onto XXS, rooted, controlled. Lina
Monet.
starting to die. Somehow Troll looking like a good hero right now. Oh, but LSA and Monet walks away. And they reset from this. That was a good attempt from TK.
And TK before that fight, he actually still had arrow stolen. So they catch XXS, they chain stun him with that arrow.
Dire's middle
Beautifully
tower
done.
has fallen.
I mean, the Aries is playing this very well.
Does force, it's the triple BKBs though. So 20 seconds Aster, when XXS respawns, they could look to strike back quite strongly versus Aries with those BKBs down.
Yeah, I mean, the blink, being able to find that Lina is absolutely key to this. And so I guess that from Monet, what do you need to do in that situation? Is it more about like not being that first person in, waiting like until Troll uses blink to show yourself? What's Monet need to do?
Probably just has to stay a little bit further back and just, yeah, wait for Troll to show. Because they don't even have 4-steps, right?
Right.
I've been seeing Baboka, he's just going for his full greed after Wraith Pact, and the Mirana, he's had it queued up for a while, but finished up the Greaves instead of going back for it, so probably need one of these defensive items. Maybe he just builds his own. He just goes Hurricane Pike on Lina, and yeah, that is going to be the case. So just some way to distance himself is necessary.
Right. Yeah, because so many of his items right now are about just blowing up that one target.
Yeah.
The embodiment of a glass cannon.
With the sidekick, though, not as... he's still Glass Cannon, but can sometimes, you know, you can get caught off guard with how much they lifesteal.
Right. That makes sense.
Aster. Given respect. They're backing away now. The smoke not going to connect.
Radiant are
Yeah, I mean,
scanning.
it's really impressive how much they've been able to pull this one back. I mean, you sort of keep your eyes on the graphs of this and how it was going there for a little while. It was such a huge advantage. And now it's sort of back to this 9K gold lead, not completely unheard of in terms of comebacks this
Radiant's top
season.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, the win rate went to 96% for a good, 5 minutes or so. And then right afterwards, they did find that catch onto Monet. So starting to trickle their way back up. Still, it's an uphill battle,
Yeah.
but a pretty decent last few engagements. 1 minute left on the Aegis.
Another Blink Dagger now done for the Primal Beast.
Okay. All 5 heroes have a blink. So everybody has a way to gap close onto the Lina or jump into the Mars ult and join the fray.
Dude, maybe this is just the answer for Lina. This is how you do it.
It's the old sniper counter, right? If you're
Yeah.
playing versus sniper, everybody kind of wants a blink. Even like Death Prophets, you see them always going for it. So yeah, definitely an attempted answer that has worked in the last 2 moments. Just they have to just keep playing almost at perfection because Aster still has this comfortable lead.
Right.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, and maybe with this Satanic coming out after the Hurricane Pike, Monet can just stand his ground because he's already at 3,000 HP.
Yeah.
And he feels like he's so much of the team fight, particularly when, that
Radiant's
first
bottom
salvo of
tower is
BKB
under attack.
damage is there. I don't
Yes.
really
Dire's
have much
top
besides him.
tower is
He has a
under
lot of-
attack.
A lot of survivability now with the sidekick, with the Wraith Pack lifesteal. When he has Paladin Sword as well that he's picked up. So quite a lot of lifesteal. So 10 seconds on Aegis. Aries, they know something's up. They're going to back up to their base not to get caught.
Likewise, for the Troll, opted to go in for this Sanj and Yasha, and the next item is going to be a
Oh.
Nullifier. Yeah,
So
he's going to go down there. So that's the other thing that can help stop some of these, displacement items to let him get set back up. Nullifier can really mess with the Force Staffs.
Definitely.
But we'll have to see if it happens. 6-12. Again, slow-paced in terms of kills. But some ups and downs in terms of the state of the game.
Dire are scanning.
Aster swinging. Going to clear them back, push them back into the base, get that economy going back up.
And I guess the other thing that... Oh, hold on a second. XXS spots some people right on top, waiting for the rest of his team to get closer. Ulu in pretty far. Catch one, doing some damage. Spear back. Lift to try and keep him alive. Snowball save.
It's
Arrow
deep.
goes through. Still in trouble. BKB, blink away. White Album caught, though, in the arena, and he's going to get killed off.
He saves his buddy, but gives his life and does give the gem back to the side of Aster.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Does save the Primal, but probably ends up not being worth it in that case, as now also, yeah, they lose that Ancient stack too, and yeah, giving back that gem. Monet, you said it, yeah, his Satanic, gonna be finished up in a couple of seconds here.
So I got a crazy idea after seeing that one, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to think about it. 25 talent Tusk, Snowball requires no target. You can just put it wherever you want, wherever you click on the ground. How broken would that be?
I mean, you always can save, even through BKBs, right? So could definitely be pretty relevant. Could be cool.
All right.
I'm down for. I want some. You know,
Let's do a patch, people.
I would be so. I'm always down for like lots of talent reworks and stuff like that because
Yeah.
it's been a bit since we've gotten quite a lot of changes. And I really like hero-specific talents. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when we got all the big changes initially, when talents were added, we had a lot of these like 10 strength, 100 mana or something.
Yeah.
Like these were very, you know, they're kind of boring. Now I think we've gotten to the point where we have so many really interesting talents that are just hero-specific. So I'm always down to just experiment.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
I mean, if everything's broken, nothing's broken. That's the specialty of Dota. So
It's a motto to live by. We also saw recently get picked up this Primal Beast Halberd now. Is all of their damage pretty much Lina at this point, particularly when BKBs are out? Or how much do they have to worry about the other heroes on Aster?
I still have to watch it. I mean, the Void Spirit can trip them up because the double silence if they don't get BKBs off. He can actually just mess with the Troll and the Primal a lot.
Okay.
Which is still definitely relevant. But yeah, most of physical is just going to be all Lina. There's Monet getting close to that 6 slot and always has the buff up of the Marcy.
Still waiting now for this second Roshan to respawn. And you can see that even though the lead has regrown back up to the point where it was, Aries may be feeling more confident to be out on the map after those couple of successes that they've had are outside of their base. It's Nullifier done on Troll Warlord and some good vision down.
And they have Ags now for Tusk, so... Oop.
Okay.
Are they thinking about it? They are. XXS is thinking to go.
LSA from long range. Hurl Boulder. Nope. Rock throw. Hex. White Album jumps in. Punch. Doesn't kick on the right person. White Album in and already killing off the Void Spirit. Monet. He gets kicked back. Oh, needs to run away. He's disarmed for a really long time in that BKB.
Ulu.
But they find the troll. Kill off Ulu. Didn't have a snowball save that time. They buy back on Rubik. Try and get away on everybody else. And with the buyback from Void Spirit, do they have a way to get him? Oh, they couldn't get in range for Bobica.
Uh-oh, White Album.
For the kickback. And so he has to kick him after the snowball. Ooh. Oh, he messed up a little bit on the range there.
I'm actually surprised they even kill XWY. He has his Aeon disc locked literally for the last, like, 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah, he didn't unlock it.
He didn't unlock it. I think he just lives if he does. But either way, they get the kill. He has buyback, so maybe that's more what he was saving for. They get a slight opening there on the side of Aries. Of kill at least, but they lose significant damage here. Troll dead. And now likely a Rax, if not more.
They have one glyph. We'll see if they use it here or they try and save it for that next one, it looks like. Maybe they can hold on to a second set, but with 20 seconds left, it looks like Aster are going to retreat for now.
Yeah, Roche is on the horizon. 10 seconds for that third respawn.
Oh, it's such good timing for them.
They're literally going to walk in it. Ready? It's going to... Two.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Boom. So yeah, here you see Void Spirit. I mean, we'll see this in the replay as they're just doing the rush, but they cast XWY, and the whole time, he could just unlock. I'm waiting. I was like, he's going to unlock. Nope, doesn't go for it, so it does just get comboed down, but either way, they end up winning the fight.
And Monet there, the kick in with the halberd right on top of it. It didn't matter, though. Ulu didn't get any damage off in that fight on the troll.
I think he gets arrowed, too, as well, toward the end of it, so just gets completely finished off as they give the X to the Mars. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Always give it XXS. I'm a big fan.
He's
Gonna
almost
have
got
refresher. Yeah, huge. And he can siege easily, too. He can just walk up and hit those buildings with this, too. Hitting multiple buildings at a time with the bulwark.
So now the gold lead has almost doubled from the last time that we were in this position. And Aries, not really that many answers for them here. No. It needs to, again, be the perfect fight. And to be honest, even at this point, I'm not sure if that will be enough.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, they might be able to kill the Void Spirit, and then he won't have buyback, especially if XWI doesn't unlock his Aeon Disc.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I mean, he's been keeping it, you know, in the lock position so he can do it in the middle of the fight, but I just didn't get it off. It happens.
Yeah. So the wrap through, Aries trying to find somebody here, and they're actually running right into the area of XXS and Monet.
Uh-oh.
Run away.
Run from this man. XXS is too scary.
It actually wouldn't have been that terrible of a point to fight if they could get control on him right at the start, since the rest of the team wasn't really there, but no such luck, and obviously didn't have the vision that we did.
Yeah. Deceptively tanky, too. If you don't 100 to 0 the Mars, or pretty much anybody, they get sidekicked. He rebukes once, full HP. As XWY, a full Lincoln's now finished up also, so it does have more protection to not get chain stunned, and we'll get that unlocked probably. And they didn't even go for 4-staff on the Mirana. They actually went pipe. So
Okay. More survivability. Greaves, Pipe, Mirana. Looking for a Holy Locket next. Why not?
Stay silent.
Lincoln. It's all Lincolns now. They're all just being afraid. They're all afraid of getting kicked back. So
Yeah.
put Lincolns on the Lina. He also has a Lincolns. They're gonna go triple, quad, maybe 5 Lincolns if they get to that point, just to ensure that they don't get kicked into the base.
Single-mindedness is what I like to see. Hex out, finds one. White Album gets the punch, looks for the kick, back on XXS. Pops the second BKB and retreats with his team. So Aster, they look to have another tower taken here, as Aries, really tough for them to make any move. Now they will have a kick again. Probably need people a little bit closer to get him into the pit itself.
Yeah, you have to kick XXS at this point.
Yeah.
Because they'll just bail each other out otherwise. Tier
So
4.
Monet now just wanting to go straight for the end here. And spamming out the voice line. Bobica feeling himself after a good game number 1. 34,000 gold into their favor. And God, they're just shredding through that Primal Beast. Doesn't have a great way out of
Round
there.
2.
Hex down, going to drop. And now Ulu on target, but not nearly doing enough. As Monet, well, does start to fall, but then one Laguna Blade, then a couple punches, has Satanic. GG is called. Aster, they're going to win game number 1.
Clean. I mean, they had the one little fight there, of course, from Aries that started to maybe find themselves some saving grace. They get a little bit of luck, of course, with that Roche right afterwards, but 99% of this game was Aster domination. Laning phase looked hot. Great itemization. Yeah, they're